Star Wars has got a theme park. It's open, and we're going to talk about it. Sides of Coin starts right now. Galaxy's Edge Star Wars themed theme park at Disneyland Anaheim is open, and the reactions are in. People have breakdowns, and we're going to kind of address that and look into it and see what we got. With us today, I have Michael Bradley, good friend of ours, and he's a Star Wars extraordinaire. So we'll get into this and break it down. Honestly, what do you think of what you've been hearing about Galaxy's Edge?
Oh, I'm so ready to blow like $500 on like a single trip.
So you said it at $500. I had it about $1,200.
Well, I'm not counting the price of the ticket. I'm just thinking like, and I'm not gonna stay at the hotel, so I'm just thinking of at least the stuff that I've seen you can buy.
Yeah,
so
just
far.
merchandise. Yeah, just walking in. You can
at least 500.
So let's start with that then. What are the first couple of things that you're excited to pick up?
Lightsaber, 100%.
The legacy sabers or the actual?
No, the build your owns, because like you can buy legacy sabers, and there's companies that make really great replicas that are way better. Maybe not officially licensed, but they're better, more solid for cheaper.
For sure.
And you can buy some really great custom sabers out there, but this is like officially licensed, and you go through the whole, rigmarole, and you get to build it, and it's cool.
Yeah, they have a whole experience.
It's got metal parts on it. I was super surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks awesome. They have a whole experience. It's all canon. They give you a few different general directions from what I understand. You've got like peace and justice and power and control if you're like more dark side, and then there's like more elemental sort of stuff, like I think like tusks and wood and things like that.
Leather
yeah. So you get to choose.
And there's an old Republic one too. There's one that's like old ancient parts too.
It's very exciting. So you pick what general direction you want to go down,
right?
And then you go in and they give you a whole tray worth of stuff, and you select your kyber crystal, which they have. Apparently, I just learned this. They not only have the 6 colors, but they have 4 varieties of each of the colors, which do different things. Yeah. So you know how when you're buying them, they're $12.99, I think. Yeah. When you buy, they're kind of like they're blind. You just see that it's yellow. So that's the incentive to buy multiple. So you get different varieties
because they all look the same on the outside. At least the original, the 4 that they give you, the red, blue, green, or purple that you get when you get your saber, you get one of those. Those are all the same from the reviews I've seen. The shapes are the same.
Right.
So I don't know if the shapes change
when
if
you
you
go
buy
to the other
ones.
store. When you go to the Antiquities, I think it is, you can get the additional kyber crystals.
Nice.
They have 4 different varieties from what I hear. I might be wrong, but they have 4 different varieties for each color. And then they also have
white was a color.
White was a color. In the reds, they have like
yellow
through
orange.
Was black. So like the dark saber, you can find that.
Heck yes. How do they light that up on a blade? How does that?
It's probably like a dark gray sort of
just white.
I'm not sure. That'd be interesting to see.
I don't think that works. But okay. All right.
But yeah. So
spray paint.
So that's really really cool. And then also some of the costumes and stuff you can get there.
Yeah.
The Jedi tunics and things. And it's like you're gonna spend about $500 to get it.
I'm shocked. Well, I'm not shocked, but because they have the rule against wearing costumes. You're not allowed to dress in anything, and they specifically mention cloaks and capes as being like a security hazard. But I'm like, of course they're gonna sell these things. Like it's Harry Potter world. Everyone's buying their cloaks and everything. So I don't know. They're gonna. I guess people are still gonna wear those around the park.
My thought. I'm disappointed to hear about the no costumes rule.
It's a Disney rule. I get it.
But go full ISB, right?
Yeah.
And have my fiance Angela, who's the producer today. Say hi, Angela. So she dressed up as a Jedi, I think Rey or something like that. And then I walk around and find Darth Vader. I'm like, hey, look who I found, man. And then he'd love me forever. That's the dream.
Yeah, but they're not gonna let you do that.
Turn in my fiance to Darth Vader. We're gonna have a great marriage built on trust and respect. No, so that's all right. So I got to find a new dream then. The characters that they have walking around, I hear are everywhere. Like they peppered them in. Like I heard Rey is like sneaking around, helping the little kids hide from the First Order and stuff like that. and Kylo Ren just walks right. So it's set in mostly the Resistance, the sequel trilogy era, which I've seen some people have some heartburn about, I guess, because people always have heartburn about things. But.
Well, and the Smuggler's Run ride has Hondo, so I don't know if they're saying he's still alive or if that's set in a different time period than the rest of the.
He is still alive.
So
in canon, yeah, he's still around,
still kicking.
And
because that's 30 years after, and he was already alive 20 years before.
Right. But we don't know how Weequay age.
We don't, but...
Yeah. I mean, obviously very slowly.
Yeah, apparently. He looked kind of like a sack of twigs from the beginning.
Robot Chicken calls them talking walnuts.
Yeah, there you go.
But no, they don't age apparently nearly as quickly as humans do, but Hondo's in it, and there's actually a lot of talk about he's been given such a presence in Galaxy's Edge. Maybe he's going to show up in Episode 9 in some fashion.
I'd be down.
Yeah, that'd be
Hondo.
That would be pretty cool. Hondo's had a pretty interesting character arc.
He was definitely one of the bright spots of the side characters in Clone Wars.
Yeah, well, he was like straight heel in the beginning, and then he sort of added all that gray area, and then he was just comic relief in Rebels. So yeah, no, it's interesting. I'm excited to go there and see the Smuggler's Run ride though. Let's talk about that. How you've got the different roles that you get randomly assigned.
Yeah,
it's like we all want to fly the Falcon.
Yeah,
but like
I'm thinking like how many times am I gonna have to ride this ride before I get to do all 4 roles I actually want to do, and how long are the waits gonna be in the next year? Like, am I gonna wait 6 hours to get to ride this ride a few times,
and then you're gonna be the engineer? Apparently, they're all pretty fun.
Yeah,
but they're not. You know, there's obviously a number one.
I wasn't blown away by the graphics that I saw. I'm hoping that they age those up, you know, as graphics and things get better, because it is kind of a interactive experience. But I'm like, video games, you know, compared to like Battlefront 2, the graphics in that are spectacular. This looked like a kid's game, so I was like, eh. But yeah, I'm still super excited.
What I've heard is that the line to get to the Falcon is more fun than the Falcon, like because there's so much there. Right. And you're legitimately walking through the Millennium Falcon and everything. I mean, it just sounds awesome. It sounds really cool. I'm extraordinarily excited. But so then there's all the food as well.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are really excited to try that green and blue milk, and I'm like, no.
I mean, have you had slushies before?
Yeah, I don't know. I might. I'll try like a sip. I'm not going to go spend, you know, $10 on a cup of blue milk.
There's a little pet peeve of mine about Star Wars. We have an entire galaxy, right?
Yeah.
And it's like the entire galaxy eats the foods that we saw 2 boomers eat on Tatooine.
Right, on a planet that's so far outside the rim. What's the quote? You know, it's the planet that is farthest from... Yeah, there's a bright spot in the galaxy.
I imagine everybody in Coruscant's like, oh, you drink blue milk?
Yeah, what?
Purple's where it's at, honestly. Everybody knows that. I used to drink blue milk, then my dad got a job.
Right. So I will say, I was excited for the droids. I heard about the build your droids thing, and I was like, okay, whatever. You know, they've sold little droids that you can throw around, and you know they're kind of fun for 5 minutes. But I was surprised that they were as cheap as they were for what you get, and that they
Tell
interact
me more
with
about
each
that,
other.
because I
didn't see that.
Glossed over that almost
so
entirely.
that you can build an R2 or a BB unit, and at least for the R2 units, you can build the legs, the body, the head, and the inner workings are all different parts. And it's kind of like an Ugnaught kind of conveyor belt. You walk in, you grab all your parts, you stick them together of any colors you want. And then there's also personality chips you can get that are extra, because they're all default R2 units. Mm-hmm. Well, the sounds are, because it's R3, 4, 5, 6. I think they go up to 6 now.
They do.
But the personality chips change them from like a resistance to a smuggler to a First Order style droid, and they make some cool sounds, and they interact with each other a little bit. From what I saw, if you leave like 2 next to each other, they'll kind of talk. And then there's supposed to be different parts around the park, kind of like if you buy the Harry Potter ones at Universal, where they will actually do things and interact with certain aspects. Maybe they trigger certain things if you happen to have the droid on you. And I was like, it's $100. They're Bluetooth enabled, and you have full control, so you can make them talk. You can move them, drive them around. You can change their heads and everything. And they give you a little backpack they can ride around on. Have the head sticking out. I was actually quite impressed. I didn't think I was going to be interested.
They're $100, right?
It's $100. That's not bad. And you get to build a custom, like the R3 units have the transparent dome, and you can see all the inner workings on the inside. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Might
Yeah.
actually.
All right, so it's
that's in the
$1,300 now.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I mean, the looking at Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities too, like all the different things they had in there. It's
Man.
so expensive, but like all the mini busts, all the different legacy lightsabers they had. They had miniature lightsabers, I believe.
All sorts of stuff.
Die-cast replicas of things. I mean, and the fact that it's all in universe too,
Right.
is just such a baller move by Disney. It's so smart and it's so genius, just because it's such a pet peeve of mine again when you're like, Star Wars is so rich, right? But then it's so easy for somebody to just wear a Star Wars shirt.
Right.
It's like it cheapens it so much. Whereas if you're in this world, it's like you want to actually feel like you're a part of it. And they seem to have really taken great steps to make that happen.
Did you see the creature area or the creature den or whatever?
Like all the different.
So they have
animals.
stuff going down to kind of like you're saying within universe. They have Jyn Erso's little stormtrooper doll.
Yeah.
Like movie accurate. They have some little characters that the Broom Boy was playing with. Like they have all this stuff that's from the show. I guarantee you're gonna be able to buy like chance cubes or whatever.
Oh yeah.
All sorts of awesome stuff. You just see in random scenes, and now they're selling it, and it's fantastic.
That is so cool. And I don't need
I
to
don't
keep
need any
of
of
my
that,
money, but I'm gonna
Yeah, you can do
give it all to them. Disney's gonna have all of our money anyway,
Oh, yeah.
though. Once the Mandalorian comes out and all this stuff, we're done.
Yeah.
Because the Mandalorian's gonna spend some time on Batuu.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's in the unknown regions.
got to.
Yeah, and then it's over.
Now, did you see the cantina? You were talking about food earlier.
Yes.
Lots of the food looks interesting. They have like this weird slug thing that's like putting droppings into the drink, and it's like boba tea, and you're like the droppings are the boba. That's kind of cool. And then the DJ for the cantina is the Star Tours robot.
Yes, I saw
That's
that.
fantastic. I was like, good stuff.
There's the pod race engine.
Yeah,
was
the engine
cooking
that's like cooking meats
cooking
and
the
things.
spit of meat. Yeah, that was really cool. I just,
The attention to detail.
it seems to be second to none, and I'm extremely excited to go there.
Second to none, but I was just thinking, I wonder what it's going to be like compared to the full-sized
Oh,
edition
yeah.
in Magic Kingdom, or wherever it is
Yeah.
in Disney World,
in
like
Orlando, yeah.
because it's always kind of a miniature version in Anaheim,
Right.
so I wonder how much bigger and better it's going to be. Oh,
Man, yeah, it's
Can't wait.
it's gonna be awesome. Is there any other points there you want to hit? I think it's a pretty good summation of it. Just generally, we're
stoked!
supremely
Oh
excited,
my gosh,
and
I do want to say I want to see rides, like.
yeah,
I know the Falcon's kind of a ride, but as far as I know, that's the only ride I've actually heard of besides just walking around and seeing things.
well, they're doing the Rise of the Resistance, which apparently is just next level, even way over the Falcon one. It's interactive. You move different locations. It
Okay.
takes throughout the park. There's cast member involvment as opposed to it
Okay.
being fully animatronic.
So it's like an augmented reality kind of thing.
I
It's
think
more
so. Yeah, that's the way it's been explained to
Okay.
me so far. And also, I think it's really awesome how the choices you make and the factions you join throughout the park affect your experience. Like apparently, if you just screw up on the Falcon thing, Hondo will be mad at you. He'll place a bounty on you. People will look for you and
Nice.
stuff. Yeah, it's really, really cool. And then if you do really well, then of course the First Order is mad at you and they're tracking you down.
So interestingly enough, you get magic bands at least at the major Disney World. I don't know if they do this in Anaheim, but they have GPS and Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and RFID all into this little magic band. So they actually track you throughout the park, where you go, what you spend your money on. If you walked into a store, looked at something, you didn't buy it, they'll send you an email kind of thing saying, "Hey, this is on sale."
Right, yeah,
sale.
yeah.
So I wonder if they're using that same technology to
course.
see where you went, and then maybe store some information like, "Oh, you went on this ride and at this time you failed, so now you're
Yeah, exactly.
not
And
a
then-
smuggler."
And then
Check.
they'll send all these different park people, I guess, or, characters or whatever to come. Yeah, they're really some of the videos I've watched. They've really paid off on that, and it really works well, from what I understand. But yeah, I think that's a good summation of it. Galaxy's Edge is out, and we're supremely excited to go there and not have any money remaining when it's all done. And this has been Sides of Coins. Make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment for next time, and we'll keep you covered and up to date with all Star Wars information.